what's up? Welcome to the Voiceover Podcast. I'm King Ironic Glow on Mine with...
I'm 24K Logan, a.k.a. Logan Tyson.
Xavier Tyson.
It's been a long time coming, man. We had this idea for roughly a year. It's been a lot of stress getting this going. It required a lot of patience, but I thank God that we are able to do this. And I'm ready for us to become the biggest podcast on YouTube, the biggest podcast, period. And it'll be all by the help of this guy right here.
And this guy, he's the one who came up with the idea. It was like a year ago. It was literally like a year ago. He had texted me. He was like, dude, we should make a podcast one day. He was saying we should make a podcast one day, and I'm like, all right, because I always wanted to make a podcast, but I never thought of doing it with him or anybody. So I instantly said voiceovers, and he was like, why voiceovers?
I could not understand why he wanted voiceovers.
Okay, I do YouTube, obviously. I'm not monetizing nothing, but I make YouTube videos. So some of my earlier YouTube videos, I would sometimes mess up when I was like recording. Either music was in the video or I didn't say something. So I would mute the audio and voice it over. I'd be like, the voiceovers with ironic, and I'm voicing stuff over. But I also want to be a voice actor one day. Well, I would love to be in a movie and I'm voice acting. Video game, Disney movie, you name it.
I've always imagined being in a Disney movie, voicing a character. But my main thing is film directing, TV directing. That's my, I wouldn't say bread and butter, but that's like my passion as far as what I'm pursuing in this industry and why I've been interested in this in the first place.
Yeah.
So, and both of us grew up big fans of movies like Boys in the Hood, Scarface, things like that. So I've always been intrigued or interested in those movies. And I feel like it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. We're gonna have to edit that part out.
Yeah, it'll be fine. He would love to direct movies one day. All kind of genres, right? Or just a specific genre.
I feel like if I did all genres, I would challenge myself.
Yeah.
But
you don't really see a lot of... Oh, I didn't mean to talk about it. But you don't see a lot of directors go branch out in a way.
I feel like that's how you challenge yourself, going to different genres. But I think that for me personally, the genres I would gear towards the most would probably be crime, even though I don't want to glorify crime too much.
Yeah.
A little bit of comedy, drama, coming of age, urban stories like a Boys in the Hood or not that I would recreate those movies because you can never recreate those movies. Those are classics, but you get what I'm saying.
All time.
That type of genre.
Yeah. If I was directing a movie, I'd really be into like TV show making. That would be a little more challenging because you gotta always come up with scripts and seasons. You gotta hope your season gets renewed. You gotta hope the fans love what you put out. But I see myself making a superhero show or an apocalyptic show or a horror show or maybe like a little crime show like how you mentioned. I'm not glorifying violence or nothing like that.
Yeah. God, I did not mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
Do not think that we would ever glorify this stuff. He knows. This guy will tell you I don't glorify that stuff.
Yeah.
But when there's historical accuracy to it, when there's truth to it, and it's a part of history, I can respect it. But we see a lot of glorification of crime and whatnot on TV. So.
Yeah. Because imagine looking at a show like Snowfall and being like, I want to be like Franklin Saint. Nah.
I never said that.
No, I'm just saying like some people actually think like that. Or even when they listen.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Or even when they listen to music, they might think that they some kind of savage or something like that. No, you're you. You're not what these people glorify you to be.
I'm going to say it right now, not to get too off topic or too ahead of schedule, but you're hearing it from me, Logan. Snowfall is amongst the 10 greatest shows in the history of television. Yes, I said it. Y'all come at me however y'all want. I don't care. I'm ready. Snowfall is one of the greatest TV shows in history.
Okay, so...
We'll come back to that later.
All right. We've been back and forth on this one, man, but if you're talking all top 10, you got all genres that goes into that. So Snowfall will be beaten by a lot.
Debatable, but we gonna get to that.
Hey, you want to get into the TV shows? Like, let's say our favorite TV shows. What's your favorite TV show?
Well, right now, Snowfall is my favorite show on TV right now.
All time.
All time. Snowfall again.
Oh my god!
But not the most favorite.
Yeah.
Boondocks. It will probably be between Boondocks, Martin, maybe Fresh Prince. Those would be like my top 3. I would throw Chappelle Show in there too.
Classic.
Yeah. Those are like my all-time favorite shows. What about you?
I mean, I watched Sopranos last year, and as of right now, it will be my favorite show of all time.
Are you saying that's your most, like, your unbiased opinion as the greatest show of all time?
A lot of people would agree with me.
A lot of people would also say The Wire is the greatest show of all time, including me.
You get that a lot, yeah.
But I got a lot of respect for Sopranos. I don't get mad at people for saying that Sopranos is the greatest show ever. Yeah. I just say The Wire just seems more realistic to me, and I like the character of Omar more than any character from Sopranos. I mean that. Man, there's no disrespect to James Gandolfini. Rest in peace. Great actor. Hell of a story.
Yeah, but I mean, you got Tony Soprano, you got Chris Monsanti, you got Paulie Walnuts.
Chris is my favorite character.
He hilarious, man. That man is hilarious. He has some of the most funniest moments.
Shooting a guy in the foot.
That was funny.
For those of y'all that have watched season 1 or all of Sopranos, y'all know what we talking about.
There was this one scene on Sopranos. It was him and Paulie. They was arguing in the parking lot, and this parking attendant came up, and things went south, bro. But just the dialogue was hilarious on that. Sopranos 10 out of 10 show recommended. The Wire 10 out of 10 show recommended.
Snowfall 10 out of 10 recommended.
A personal favorite is The Walking Dead, but that first half of The Walking Dead was like peak shows. Nothing could beat that. But the second half of The Walking Dead is where the fan base it went downhill from there. People stopped watching it. It was, even I stopped watching.
You always watch that show, and I didn't appreciate it until later on in life.
Yeah, I appreciate it because I no complaints on it. But
by the way, speaking of life and age, I'm 22.
I'm 18.
So we just wanted to throw that out.
We're 3 years apart. It's just his birthday came up in February. Mine's in July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's too much information.
It's not too much information. What, y'all want to hear my y'all want to hear y'all hear my zodiac sign?
No.
I'm a Cancer. He's a
Aquarius.
Yeah.
I don't get into that. He gets into toxic.
I don't get into that.
I'm about to call it toxicology, astrology, and we might have to keep that in.
Hey, keep that one in.
I'm about to say toxicology.
It covers a lot of it, but hey, if y'all think y'all signs compatible, your moons or whatever it is, go for it.
We don't get into none
of that.
I ain't. But I did want to say, most importantly, the whole purpose of this podcast, like I said, we're just two guys that's heavily fascinated with pop culture. We gave y'all the genres that we are interested in, and I felt that this was something that we needed to do. I kind of felt this was a way of us telling our story and getting our start in the industry, but on our own path. On our own path.
Or get our...
go ahead.
Or get our... I guess our own opinions out there, or we can be the people who review something and we're like non-biased.
Yeah,
I feel like I
try not to be biased, although I think y'all know already I'm biased with Snowfall. But I try not to be too biased because, like I said, I'll admit Snowfall, as much as I love it, it's not right now at this moment in time. I don't think it's on the level or just as good as The Wire or even Sopranos. That's subject to change, though, because the finale is coming up next week. Soon. We're going to get to that later on.
Yeah, but but back to our goals with this podcast. We would love to be at a movie screen premiere one day. Definitely. Big goal right there. Definitely. If you ever see those movie trailers and they got all the critics things, it would be cool if voiceovers was right there. Voiceovers put it at like a 10 out of 10 movies on the theater.
That would be amazing. Oh, you're saying like when you watch
the movie trailer,
after the movie comes out, and then you see like Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie a 5 out of 5 or called it a masterpiece. Yeah. I would love that to happen, bro.
Yeah. And if everybody's just coming straight to us for like opinions on what movies coming out, that would be a blessing right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we try not to be biased.
Everybody's opinion is different, but you ever just look at certain movies and certain critics and you be like, how could this critic give this a 7 and give this movie a 10?
That's kind of how we felt about the Super Mario Bros. Movie that just came out.
It was a good movie. I liked it.
It took me back to my childhood.
We had a little review on that. We'll post that later on this week. I'll get around to posting that one.
Okay. All right.
But in case you want to hear a brief summary of it, the details in the movie, we're not spoiling it, but like the details in the movie, they had so many references to different games. It was just, if you grew up with Mario in a way and you watch the movie, you'd be like, oh, so
without me spoiling it, the very first glimpse, the very first scene of the movie, it takes you back to your childhood instantly. Somebody in the theater was like, oh, they don't know nothing about that. I was like, there goes an old head trying to school the youngins. But I'm like, it makes sense. Yeah. Because a lot of them don't know about it.
True. But, I mean, they got the new Mario games on the Switch, which might not compare to what we had growing up, but yeah.
We played it on the DS.
Yeah, we played it on the DS. And that little, what was it, Nintendo 64? I want to say we had one of those. It was something that
I had the it was like the one that you flip open. I had the blue one.
I know that. The handheld DS, but we also had that one that you plug into the TV.
We did.
We didn't have it, but we played it. Somebody had it.
You're talking about the old Nintendo from like the 80s.
Yeah, I don't know whose it was, but we had one of those.
And I think we had Mario Kart on there.
Yeah, Mario Kart, the original Sega games.
I wish we still had it. That thing might be worth a lot of money right now.
Yeah, they're sort of easy to find, but they're also sort of hard to find. So
yeah,
I think they stopped producing them. But PS2, that's a goated console. PS2, Xbox 360. The Xbox Live days, and then you also got the early PS4 days.
This is the gamer guy.
Oh yeah, I play video games. He's more deeper into like the movies, but we share the same thing with movies at least.
Yeah. Although, in terms of video games, while we like a lot of the same games, we feel different on the GTA series. Like for me, I feel like Vice City is one of the greatest, not the greatest, but one of the greatest. He does not like Vice City. I don't know why. Okay. That's something else that we'll touch on later.
I want to get into that now. I actually played the Definitive Edition, and I revisited it. It wasn't that bad, but I had to like learn how to play it. In terms of gameplay, that's a big one for me. So if I hit the gameplay on a video game, I'm going to stray away from it. But I got a little nostalgic watching Scarface, and I was like, dang, Vice City has so many Scarface references.
I instantly thought that from the first time we played that game.
Yeah, so I put in Vice City. Definitive Edition. I tried the PS2 original. Definitive Edition was a disappointment, but it was easier to play.
I don't even think I played the Definitive Edition. Yeah. If I did, I barely played it.
But out of the trilogy, I might have to show you it later. But out of the trilogy, GTA 3, San Andreas, and Vice City, GTA 3 would actually be my favorite out of all of those.
Your favorite out of every?
Out of the 3D trilogy or HD trilogy, whichever
3D. For the 3D trilogy, for me, it would definitely be San Andreas.
Yeah. San Andreas is a big one.
I would say out of the entire series, San Andreas is I argue that San Andreas is better than Part 5 in terms of impact, influence, nostalgia.
Yeah.
So,
and both of those games are the highest selling of all time. Not like 1 and 2, but they're like the top 10 highest selling. I know that.
Part 5 sold more than San Andreas, didn't it?
They sold around the same amount. I actually got to look up that fact, but I know they're both top 10.
Okay.
Yeah, at least I believe so. But GTA 3. A lot of people might not like it because the protagonist Claude, he doesn't speak. But
I can understand why they wouldn't like it. That was always.
Yeah, but it was fun though. The guns is cool to use. Like M16, it would be cool for blowing up cars.
But the game story was good.
Yeah, the story was actually amazing.
Yeah.
But my personal favorite GTA's. Ooh. So you know how I was talking about the DS, right?
Yeah.
Chinatown Wars.
I knew you was gonna hit me with that.
It would look. A lot of people might not agree because it's a top-down view, but that was a good game. That was you had to play it.
Chinatown Wars.
It was fun. I don't know. I came up with it and I just played it so much. Yeah, you had this one lottery mini game. You had this one mini game where you can make Molotovs. This other mini game where you can like build a sniper and snipe people. It was pretty fun to play. A lot of people might not like it, but it's a personal favorite. So shout out to you if you actually like Chinatown Wars.
Who had brought that for us? Oh, for you. It was for you. Not, it wasn't even for me.
It was on my 7th birthday, and I want to say I asked for Chinatown Wars. I actually have a photo of that.
That's a hell of a 7th birthday.
I have to show you that photo. I had it. I actually got it as a birthday present. I remember scrolling and found it. I found a photo. I have to show you that.
Okay.
Yeah, but amazing game right there. But not personal, but all time GTA 4.
How the hell did I forget about GTA 4?
Everything in GTA 4. A lot of people would agree that GTA 4 is better than GTA 5.
In terms of a overall game, you could definitely make that argument. In terms of storyline,
you can make that argument.
I think the story from GTA 4, I don't want to say wipes GTA 5, but it's definitely a better story. I like Nico more than any character from Part 5.
I mean, Trevor's pretty debatable. He's one of the greatest GTA characters.
He is one of the greatest, but I don't think he is better than Nico Bellic. That's another discussion for another day. Nico too, but Trevor's a great character. I will admit that. One of the greatest for sure.
1,000%.
And I remember when Part 4 came out, everybody was like...
2008,
yeah. They was like, this game looks so real. And then when I finally got to see it, I'm like, it does look real.
Yeah, it was a huge upgrade.
To this day, it still looks real.
Yeah, very much. Everyone wanted Rockstar to remaster it, but they never got around to doing it. I think they pulled a plug for the Definitive Edition, but that was a disappointment.
They fumbled the ball by not... Well, they fumbled the ball with the Definitive Edition overall because... like the glitches, some of the glitches.
When the day one release was terrible.
And then they didn't really... The graphics, they were better technically, but when you go back and play that game, they literally just added better lighting.
Yeah, that's
and
really
stuff looks a little bit more clear in that game, but they didn't really change. Their graphics don't look like Part 5 graphics.
Yeah, no comparison to that.
Like if they had Part 5 graphics, I think the game would have got way better reviews.
Yeah.
But because it had cheesy graphics, they really should have just stuck with the original and just, you know what I mean? I didn't agree with that.
It was sad because people really had to mod the game just to make it better. They modded the game, the character models were better.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they added different gun sounds because they repeated the same gun sounds and all that. The soundtracks, I actually couldn't put all the songs back in because copyright issues and all this, but that was a big one.
GTA 6 is coming out in 2035, I think.
At this point, we might get...
Bro, it's been taking forever.
For real. I don't know. I remember when the GTA 6 got leaked, though. That was crazy.
Yeah. 10 years. 10 years since the last Grand Theft Auto game. And we've never went 10 years without a Grand Theft Auto video game, bro. And the fact that we have gone 10 years without it is ridiculous.
Very much, yeah. But a lot of people, if you don't get GTA 6, I would love for a Bully 2. If you remember Bully coming up. We never had it, but I played it later on in my life. Bully.
Bully's a classic. Are they going to do Bully 2?
It was actually supposed to do that, but they pulled that for... It was not Red... Was it Red Dead?
It might have been.
I don't know, but they pulled a plug on Bully. I want a Max Payne 4. That would be amazing to have, but who knows if we're going to get that.
I tell you what else. Max Payne 4 would be good, but I tell you what else I'd like to see. Another L.A. Noire. Or L.A. Noire being... I hope I said that right.
I believe you said it right, yeah.
Yeah, L.A. Noire being remastered.
A remaster would be good, yeah.
Not a cheesy remaster, like a modern-day graphic remaster.
Yeah. Or a remake. Or just another L.A. Noire. That would be cool. Because that game was actually pretty phenomenal in the Rockstar community. They also had this one game, I think it was called The Warriors. I checked out a little gameplay of it. It was based off this 1970s movie. And, yeah. But I didn't really get into it. I never played it. I saw a little bit on YouTube. It would have been fun coming up to play. It actually looks fun to play. I recommend it if you have access to it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And to be honest, have I Have I ever played that? You said you played it, right?
No, I watched it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But I don't think I've watched so many clips of it, read the storyline for it. I really would like to see a remaster of that. I need to try to play it one day. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, since we're on the topic of Rockstar, so you know how we got Red Dead Redemption 2, right? I don't know if you ever kept up with the news, but they had Red Dead Online, but they really stopped updating it for GTA 5, which, mind you, came out like 5 years before Red Dead. They went back to working on online, and even online for GTA 5 sucked, but I'm not going to get into GTA 5. It's Red Dead that has so much potential, and Rockstar threw it away. That was actually the most expensive game of all time. I think it cost like $500 million just to make it.
Really?
I believe so.
And while we're on the topic of Red Dead, I don't know if they're going to do a part 3. I've seen a lot of different comment sections and a lot of fans saying they would love to see a part 3. I would assume it would be, or I would hope that it would be Dutch Van der Linde's past. Basically a prequel, another prequel, but this time we see how Dutch came up. Because me personally, I understand everybody loves Arthur and John. I feel that Dutch is the greatest character in that entire franchise. And I'm saying that because he essentially made John and Arthur what they were. They became better men in the end because they saw that Dutch was too far gone.
Yeah.
But his layers, and by the way, if they ever did a Red Dead movie or show, I would love to see.
They got to do a show. Has to be a show. All the material Red Dead has to be a show.
I would love to see Leonardo DiCaprio as Dutch, and I could see Keanu Reeves or the guy that played, what's his name, Daryl on Walking Dead.
Norman Reedus.
Yes, I could see him or Keanu Reeves playing John Marston. And for Arthur Morgan, I could see Brad Pitt. I think Brad Pitt would actually be a decent Arthur Morgan.
Yeah, but
and even I even thought about Matthew McConaughey playing one of them.
Yeah,
he would be a good fit. Let us know down in the comments what y'all think about Red Dead, about a possible show or movie, and who y'all would like to see as the cast.
Yeah, video game adaptations have come a long way though.
They have. And we talked about it the other day. At some point, they're gonna have to do a Grand Theft Auto movie adaptation.
Yeah, out
of the video game. They have to.
They have to. But since we are on the, because you said Dutch is the best character in Red Dead.
Yes, in my opinion.
Oh, in your opinion. But I brought this up to you before, and I know you hate his character. Everybody hates his character.
Bill?
No, Micah Bell.
I really do hate Micah.
The greatest antagonist in video game history.
Are you sure about that?
Micah Bell, like, just in 6 months, he brought down 20 plus years worth of a gang, just like that in 6 months. Or was it 20? It was like 20. It was a while. It was a long time because they've known each other since he was kids. But it was crazy how he tore all of that down in 6 months.
You made a valid point. You would put him over General Edgar Ross.
I mean, Ross was...
Because as much as I hated Micah, I hated Edgar Ross just as much, if not more, for stabbing John in the back. Yeah,
but Ross and the government was a big part of the game's demise, but it was really Micah the whole time. But he played it so cool, though, because, like, if you was watching the game spoiler-free, you see how Micah was just this chill dude in the gang, and, you know, you didn't think much about him. But towards the end, you realize he's turning new colors, and just like that, man, he took the game down. That's true, but then you could also bring up Dutch, how he was, like I said earlier, too far gone towards the later half of the game. Yeah. That's another big reason for the gang's downfall. John and Arthur were trying to be better men. Dutch was too far gone, and then Javier and Bill started to follow in his footsteps, and that just led to chaos for the game. But that's a very good point. I never looked at it that way about Micah. He played his part. I'm telling you, but I don't want to get into this topic of the thing, bro. But I feel bad for a lot of the voice actors or actors who play like antagonistic roles, and then people on the internet don't understand that it's purely for entertainment.
Yes.
And they go to send these people death threats and all this other stuff.
I hate that too.
I feel so bad for them, bro. Because this game, I'm doing a series on it right now called Resident Evil 4. This one character, even though I don't know, man, but I feel bad for the voice actors who have to deactivate their Instagram, and
it's even worse for the ones who are actually in these shows. Like, for example, in On My Block, the guy that had shot Ruby.
Yeah. Oh, he had to limit his comments, didn't he?
Yep.
I thought so. I remember scrolling. I'm like, dang, why his comment is limited?
Yep.
I feel bad for them,
but that goes show how good they play their part.
True, but it also makes me feel
acting.
bad for them because I don't know. Maybe they might not want to act again or certain things.
Yeah, the fans take it too far sometimes, and we are not those type of fans.
Yeah.
No matter how much we hate a person's character, we would never send any type of death threats. So that's overboard.
Yeah.
The last thing that I wanted to get into, the Snowfall episode 9 review, and then the predictions and how we feel about the show all time, which I've kind of already stated how I feel about it, but I feel we can go a little bit deeper into it.
Yeah, spoiler free? Spoiler? Okay, so
skip it about 5 minutes.
I'll put a little thing right here to tell you which time to go to. But
episode 9.
Yeah, episode 9. If you haven't watched that, just skip ahead. This man was this close to getting his money back.
Yeah.
His mom ruined it.
Continue, because I got a lot of questions for you in a lot of different scenarios, but go ahead.
Alright, you know what? We're going to get into it. So we've been having this little back and forth thing about this. Nah, I'm going to drop that. I'm telling y'all something. What's her name? Veronique?
Yeah.
I don't know something about her character.
That she's a Fed.
She probably is. She might not be a Fed, but she doing dirt or something. I get a bad vibe around her, bro.
I could understand why you get that vibe, but for me, I told you the one who you really got to look out for.
Yeah.
Parissa.
Yeah, that's Teddy's
I trust
girlfriend.
Yeah. I trust V more than I trust Parissa.
So since we already going to spoil it, so you know how what's the name got shot, right? And you know how that was his girl. What do you think she might do?
Oh, you think Parissa might come back to
for her?
I don't see why she would come back for Sissy.
Cause she,
Well, yeah, but she technically can't because Sissy is already locked up.
Yeah, but they have their ways though.
Yeah,
and being the CIA.
Yeah, you're thinking about how Parissa could
possibly
come into the courthouse, and that's a good point. I don't see that happening.
But she just because remember how she said he proposed and everything.
Yeah. But I still feel like Parissa was plotting the whole time to get the money for herself and not really
maybe so
to Teddy. But that's something we're going to find out in the next episode. But the reason why, even though I think that was a crazy decision and not the best decision from Sissy, do you really think that, for one, do you think that was a real password that Teddy was about to give the bank or whoever it was?
He won a phone with somebody, and they probably had a certain code to be like, hey, yo, what you got to tell me so I give you this money? And he probably about to say it.
That leads me to my next point. Do you really think that Teddy was going to split that money with Franklin and that he was just going to go about his ways, let bygones be bygones, and him and Franklin ride off into the sunset? Do you really think Teddy was just going to walk away from all that? And then even if Teddy wanted to do that, you have to think about the guy that was there with them, everybody else from the CIA and the government. I don't think that Teddy was going to just let Franklin walk away. The same way that Teddy came back for Alton, I think it's a strong possibility that he would have tried to come for Franklin. And it's a possibility he would have found Franklin because he did find Alton. Speaking of Alton, we finally got the closure on him being dead.
It'll be crazy if that's false, though. We got one more episode, so a lot happened in this next episode.
It's still kind of in the air for me, but I feel that's delusional because I think at this point, that's about as much closure as we're going to get on Alton. I definitely think that is, if not the most shocking moment in Snowfall history, is definitely one of the, it's definitely one of the most shocking moments in Snowfall history. Even when I had a feeling, even when I had a feeling that she was gonna shoot Teddy, the way they led up to it, the way they built that suspense up, and then when it actually happened, then everybody just screaming and running all through the area. Franklin going crazy trying to get the password from Teddy. Sissy throwing up her hands, saying goodbye. Like the goodbye Franklin, that hit me.
That moment.
That hit me though. Goodbye Franklin, that hit me hard. And then when he ran off and we see the phone hanging off and we hear the beep beep beep.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was chilling. That was a chilling moment for me.
It was, bro, but dang, so we think, because we mentioned all these other characters, but we didn't think about Louis' story.
Louis, and by the way, I have grown to hate Louis. She is behind. Listen, Franklin definitely played his part. Franklin definitely did some dirt, but none of this never would have happened had Louis not sent Bucko, whatever his name.
I don't know.
It's Detective Buckley.
Yeah,
but I say Bucko to be an asshole sometimes. Yeah. But I really think that none of like all the stuff that's going on right now, aside from Franklin versus Teddy, Jerome would still be alive had it not been for Louis sending Detective Buckley after Kane. Kane wouldn't have had a reason to go after Louis. Kane and Leon and Franklin had all worked out a deal. They came to good terms. They was cool.
Yeah.
This is Louis' fault, bro.
Oh, yeah, very much, yeah.
Because, go ahead.
Oh, no, but yeah, she sent out the hit. I feel like she had a power trip, though. Like,
definitely.
Like, remember, because the reason why she got into the position where she's at now, because remember, a few seasons back, Franklin had got hit or whatever, and he was in the cane. He was in his own stage or whatever, and Louis basically took his position. She got into that business. Jerome really wanted nothing to do with it from the start.
He wanted to just keep selling marijuana.
Yeah, even back in season 1, I mean, cut you off. Even back in season 1, when Franklin came up with the brick, he didn't want no part of it.
Yeah,
but Louis dragged him in.
Jamming Jerome, Uncle Jerome, rest in peace, Uncle Jerome.
Yeah,
one of the greatest characters.
Funniest,
Snowfall. One of the funniest. Teach your mans how to squabble.
Yeah,
I did a terrible impression, but yeah, I can't believe that happened to him. But again, it's all because of Louis. And great job, Ammon Joseph, directing that episode.
Yeah,
that was great.
Oh yeah, but also John Singleton, man.
Rest in peace, John Singleton.
He created all of this, and I don't know how the show would have went if he stayed alive and he finished the show himself. But they ended it well.
I think that the writers of Snowfall have done overall a hell of a job of keeping the story going. Singleton died after season 3.
Yeah.
So I think that they have done a good job of keeping the show going, keeping the suspense, having us on the edge of our seats, the good storyline.
Yeah.
I think they have done a good job. Some people feel like they missed the ball because of him not being there, and while I could see why, I don't really think they missed a beat like that. But the show possibly would have been better, or it would have been better with John still being here.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would have been too much different. I feel that the ending that we are about to get, that same ending probably would have happened or something very similar had John been here. And real quick, just to talk about John Singleton for a little bit, as someone who wants to direct movies, do some work in the film industry, John Singleton is one of my inspirations. Like I said, Boys in the Hood is one of my all-time favorite movies. It taught me a lot of life lessons early on when I was like 8 or 9 years old. So that movie definitely impacted my life. It's still hard to this day to watch Ricky getting killed.
Yeah.
But Yes, Boys in the Hood is forever a classic. John Singleton, thank you. True inspiration.
Very much.
What are your predictions for the series finale of Snowfall?
My predictions, I feel like we might lose Leon.
As much as I don't want that to happen, I feel that Leon is going to die too.
Yeah, I pointed this out in the season 6 episode 10 trailer. You see this one scene in Franklin. He's like pulling out of a car, and you see people behind him. And I feel like maybe that was Leon on the floor. Maybe not. Maybe I'm reaching. I feel like I am reaching, but I know it's somebody was laying back there.
You're making a good point, and also if you go back and look at that trailer, you'll see Leon. Well, not that you'll see Leon, but you'll see somebody laid out on the ground. Yeah, Leon was in the trailer.
Yeah.
But you'll see somebody laid out on the ground, and what they were wearing, it looked like the shirt that was similar to what Leon was wearing in the previous episode and in that trailer. So that can very well be Leon, and I hope it's not, because he is definitely my favorite character. So it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, Leon's the GOAT. But that might be because they're supposed to be making this
The spinoff.
Yeah, the spinoff, and it's with Wanda starring in it. But it makes you think, what if Leon doesn't star in it as well?
Yeah, because the way it's supposed to be set up with the spinoff, they're supposed to be going into the early 90s, focusing on the gangster rap era and the West Coast gangs. Well, the Los Angeles gangs in particular.
Yeah.
And how the community was affected post crack cocaine era, moving into the gang era.
Yeah.
And also how some of them are trying to get into the music business. We might even get to see them tease things like Death Row Records.
Death Row, for sure.
That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense for them to pull that.
Yeah.
But my prediction, like I said, or like he said, I think Leon is definitely gonna die. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm very wrong.
We really hope we're wrong for Leon the GOAT, man.
I don't see what else could happen to Sissy at this point other than she's gonna plead guilty.
Might get life. Might get...
Oh, the death penalty.
I mean, he was a CIA agent, and that's a big no-no.
True. That's true.
That's a big no-no.
That is true. And I wonder if what he did will be exposed even more.
Yeah,
That-
like,
that's
did
what I
Alton
wonder.
really die? Who knows?
It's still in the air,
Yeah.
but I definitely think that Alton is dead. I wanted better closure with us not seeing him actually get shot or see him fall out or laying on the ground dead. It's still kind of a loose cannon.
Yeah, but you heard what Teddy said on the phone. He's dead. I shot him twice. Dumped him in the river.
And that was dirty. But
It was.
another
It was
thing,
cold.
Yeah. Do you really think that Teddy would have split that money with Franklin, forget about it, like it never happened, let bygones be bygones, him and Franklin both ride off into the sunset, act like they never knew each other? Do you really think that Teddy was going to... I don't think he would have did it. And the reason why, even if that is what he wanted to do, the guy that was working with him had other people there. That's most likely why they were focusing on the area that they were standing in so much.
Yeah.
I feel like there was people there with them, and for all we know, Teddy had that set up. And even if they were to walk away and none of that happened, who's to say that Teddy wouldn't have tried to come for Franklin the same way he came for Alton?
Yeah.
So I know some people were like, Sissy messed it up. Which she did, but at the same time, I think that was you can't really blame her because she did kill, or he did kill her husband.
Yeah.
And manipulated that whole family, caused a lot of things, even though Franklin and Louie and Jerome and even Sissy, everybody played their part.
Yeah.
But it only makes sense that they did that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not too harsh on Sissy, even though it would have been good to see Franklin have a better shot at getting his money, but I don't think he would have got that money. Even if he did, who said that things wouldn't have went left or that Teddy wouldn't have came after him and his family?
But notice how Teddy actually because it all came full circle. You realize that Teddy did just send this man to sell all of this coke, and he got $70 million profit off of that.
Yep.
So maybe he's gonna screw Franklin over in the end, but I felt really bad for Franklin because he did actually see this man as a friend.
He did. If you go back and watch it, you'll see Franklin's eyes getting watery, him crying.
Yeah, I felt terrible for this man.
Yeah, and you'll see Teddy crying too because at one point they were like friends. They were looking out for each other. Even Franklin was like, I could have saw us, or I could have seen us having barbecues together, still knowing each other for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
So, and I felt that it was time for Teddy to go. He definitely played his part.
Definitely.
He is one of the greatest villains in television history.
Undoubtedly, yeah.
And Franklin Saint is one of the greatest characters in television history as well.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah.
And we have to discuss where we rank Snowfall all time amongst the greatest shows, or where we would put it in its place in history.
In that decade, it could go pretty high, but all time, there's a lot of contenders.
In the 2010s decade.
Yeah.
In the 2010s decade, I think it's definitely in the top 5. I would argue top 3. I wouldn't be mad at nobody for saying it's the greatest, but of course it's competing with Walking Dead, Game of Thrones.
Definitely.
So it's tough, yeah. But I think it's fair to say it's in the top 3, definitely top 5 for the
5. I can understand, yeah. But yeah. So we'll talk about the sports thing.
Of course. So we're both Dallas Cowboys fans, huge Dallas Cowboys fans.
I'm ashamed.
Being a Cowboys fan ain't easy, but we still love our team. Sports is something that we're going to talk about on this podcast as well, especially when football season comes back. But this guy has something to say about the upcoming Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia fight.
Garcia, man, you better bring it home for us, man. I'm rooting for Garcia. He got Tank winning.
I definitely got Tank winning. No disrespect to Garcia. Tank is winning.
I got Garcia beating him off of like speed. It might not go the distance. It might not. It might be TKO or KO.
Garcia is not knocking Tank out.
Hey, Garcia got hands. I've seen him in highlights. I've seen Tank highlights. I actually watched that last fight Tank had. Tank didn't take that fight seriously, but he was this close to losing that last fight he just had.
I think Tank is a little bit more relaxed than Garcia.
Yeah, but
not for this fight. Not for this fight.
This fight right here, both fighters undefeated. As of right now, this is the biggest fight of the year.
Of course.
So, a lot's on the line. All this hype, everything that's been built up to this moment, they cannot disappoint. I don't want to see a whole hugging boxing match all thing. I want to see hands being thrown. If it goes out in the first round, I wouldn't. I would be low.
I would love to see this fight go every single round into the wire.
I'm feeling. I don't know if they're gonna do 8 rounds or 12. I don't know how many rounds they're doing, but at least half of the rounds I want to see.
Got to see more than half. I don't want to see a knockout.
I want to see a TKO desperately. Obviously I don't want Garcia to get beat badly. I don't want to see Tank get beat badly, but I at least want to see a fair fight. But maybe whoever loses this fight, maybe a rematch happens.
That's true. I mean, Deontay Wilder.
That was a.
Oh, I'm sorry, Deontay Wilder.
Wilder, yeah. That was Fury, man.
Yeah.
I feel like Wilder finally met his match with that.
Agree.
I mean, the tie was one thing, that first fight, and then that second fight, Wilder got beat, and then the third fight was just disappointing. I will say that Wilder is a good boxer, but I feel like he didn't bring his all when he was fighting Fury, or like I say, he met his match, someone who just he couldn't beat in a way.
Yeah.
Overall, Tyson was the better fighter.
I feel like he wanted it more. He was hungry.
Yeah. I feel like Wilder, maybe he felt something he had to prove. At the same time, he just didn't live up to everything that he did in the past, I guess.
Yep.
But he's still a good boxer, though. Shout out to Wilder. Shout out to Fury. Legendary fighters of today's world. Yeah.
Agree. Drop y'all predictions in the comments. Let us know what y'all think. Give us any feedback, criticism. We're here for it all. We appreciate y'all so much for watching. To everybody that support us and help us make this happen, thank y'all so much. This is for y'all.
All right, we're wrapping it, man. Please subscribe. We'll have more later on. We'll do debates.
Absolutely.
A lot. You might see the shorts in the thing. I will clip some of these out and put in shorts or other videos. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram. I'll put it all in the description and everything. And yeah.
And more reviews coming.
Definitely.
And reactions. It's going to be a lot of different content. Like we said, we're big on pop culture, including sports, music. So a lot of different content coming for you guys. We'll stay consistent as possible.
That's it. All right, man. We're right there, man. Let's try to peace out. Catch you next one, man.
Peace.